For as long as we've had the web, there's been this hidden compromise, a choice every website has to make between being fast and being personal. But what if that choice is about to disappear? A new, still experimental technology called partial pre-rendering is promising to do just that. So let's get into it. Think about it. Every single site you visit every day is the result of this choice. Do you get a page that loads in a flash, but it's the same for absolutely everyone? Or do you get a page that's customized just for you, with your name, your cart, your stuff, but you have to wait that extra second or two for it to show up? Why? Why have we always had to pick one? Well, it all boils down to two very different ways of building things. On one hand, you have static websites. These are things like simple blogs or documentation pages. They're pre-built, so they're incredibly fast, but they're generic. On the other hand, you have dynamic websites. Think your social media feed or your online banking. They're built on the fly, just for you. But that whole process, it can really slow things down. Okay, so this isn't just about whether a page feels snappy. This runs deep. It's a fundamental architectural problem that developers have been tearing their hair out over for years. Let's dig into why this has been such a stubborn problem to solve. This right here is the heart of it. The source material calls it the all-or-nothing problem, and it's kind of nuts when you think about it. Imagine you're on a shopping site. Pretty much everything on the page is the same for everyone, the product pictures, the description, the reviews, but that one tiny little thing, the shopping cart icon that shows your items, is dynamic. In the old way of doing things, that single icon would force the entire page to be slowly built from scratch just for you every single time. So how do you solve a problem that's all or nothing? Well, you change the rules. You decide it's not all or nothing anymore. And that right there is the big idea behind partial pre-rendering, or PPR for short. At its core, PPR is really a hybrid model, and the concept is brilliant in its simplicity. Get the fast, static part of the page to the user instantly. Then, while they're already looking at it, you just stream in the personalized bits and pop them into place. And the goal here? Oh, it's a big one. It's to completely shatter that old compromise. You get the lightning speed of a static site and the power of a dynamic one. No more choosing. It's the best of both worlds. Okay, but how does this magic trick actually work under the hood? It's a really clever system that breaks down into three key parts, something called a static shell, dynamic holes, and a process known as streaming. All right, first up, the static shell. Picture this like the solid frame of a house. It's the layout, the header, the footer, all the stuff that's the same for everybody. And because it's pre-built and sitting on servers all over the world, it gets to your browser in the blink of an eye. That's where the incredible speed comes from. Now, inside that static frame, you've got these empty spaces. The source calls them dynamic holes, but they're not mistakes. Think of them more like perfectly sized window frames, just waiting for the custom glass, your personal info, to be slotted in. So what does this actually feel like when you're using it? You click a link, bam, the page shell appears, instantly. You might see those little skeleton loaders, the gray pulsating boxes for just a millisecond. And then, poof, your stuff, your cart, your name just streams right into those spots. The whole page becomes complete, right before your eyes. Now, this isn't smoke and mirrors. There's some seriously clever tech making it happen. You've got a tool called React Suspense, which is kind of like a site foreman. It marks off an area and says, hey, hold up, we've got something special coming for this spot later. Then you have server component streaming, which is like a fleet of delivery drones, bringing in just the right pieces of your data to fill those exact holes, all without stopping work on the rest of the site. Okay, so we get how it works. Now let's see how PPR really stacks up against the old ways of doing things. Let's put them head to head. Just look at this comparison. Zero in on that PPR column. Its performance? Excellent. Right up there with static sites. But unlike static, it allows for granular, specific personalization. It's carving out this perfect sweet spot for most of the modern web, honestly. And this chart really drives the point home. Look how close that PPR bar is to the static one. It's almost identical. What that means for you, the user, is that feeling of instant response when you click. It's a huge, huge leap forward from the lag we sometimes get with fully dynamic sites. So this all sounds pretty incredible, right? Like, problem solved, let's switch everything over. But hold on. As with all shiny, cutting-edge tech, there's a pretty big but that we really need to talk about. And I want to be super clear here, this comes straight from the folks who are building it. The official documentation says this, and it's a critical piece of the story. They are telling us loud and clear, this is a work in progress. So let me just say it again, nice and big, experimental. This is a preview of the future, not a tool you should build your company's mission-critical website on today. The APIs could change, there could be bugs, but wow, the idea, that's the real game changer here. And that's really the big takeaway. This is more than just a new feature. It's a whole new mindset. It means developers might finally be able to stop making that impossible choice between fast or personal. Instead, they can just build the rich, dynamic experiences we all want, and the system can automatically make them fast by default. Which brings us right back to the beginning. Is that all-or-nothing web finally on its way out? Well, while the technology isn't quite ready for prime time, the blueprint is there. We're getting a glimpse of a future where the web's biggest compromise might just become a thing of the past, a future that is both incredibly fast and deeply personal.